Things a little bit different today. Instead of seeing some massive houses like we've been seeing lately, we are going to see two homes, both great options for either the first-time buyer or the last-time buyer. If you are looking to get into the market or looking to downsize from something bigger, this video is one you should watch because both of these houses could be great options out here in a super beautiful, brand new master plan community in one of the most affordable cities in California. Let's have a look. All right, both houses today are single story. The first one is a 2-bedroom. Let's step on in and have a peek at this thing. It's great for a couple of reasons, and I'm gonna show you why right now. All right, so the first really nice thing that I see on this particular floor plan is that entryway. I love walking into a nice entry, not just into a living room. So that's nice. And then you've got separation in this house. So, you know, if you're a family starting out, this could work for you. But who I see this a better fit for is like an elderly person who needs their primary suite and then they want like a guest room or an office, maybe something for the grandkids up here in the front. I don't know. Either way, we can talk about that, but let me spin this around and show you. All right, actually, let's go this way. So we'll start the front. So we came in over there, all right, and we are coming this way. Front bedroom is a nice size. That bed is a full. All right, that's a full-size bed. They've got pretty big end tables in here. I don't know that you're gonna go much bigger than that, but you could accommodate a queen-size bed with a smaller end table. This would make a fantastic office. You know, if you're a single individual looking for that first-time home and you work from home, this house could be a great option for you. I mean, this home is great for many people, and there's a large amount of people that this probably wouldn't work for. It is under 1,300 square feet. Yeah, so we got the dimmers. All right, standard closet. Let's see. Let's see, straight ahead. This is a coat closet. Pretty standard. We don't need to go in there too much. We've got a shower tub combo. This is a full bath. All right, this is your guest bath. So anybody staying with you or visiting would be using this bathroom most likely. I like these countertops. It's really nice, the dark black. That's pretty cool. These are all on sensors over here. All right, so not bad at all. So far, I like the tile in the wet area. We got the carpet in the bedroom, and then this is LVP luxury vinyl plank flooring. It's supposed to be very durable, pet friendly, water resistant to some extent, all of that. All right, and let me take you in. All right, so the living room, I love the board and batten they've done on the wall. That right there is an upgrade. That's not standard. We can talk about what's upgrades and what comes standard with this. Put a comment below or text us and we'll share the specifics there. But I like the openness of this floor plan. So I feel like it's kind of like the everything that you need house, you know, it's kind of nice. So the backyard is actually really nice. Now this house is a little smaller than the next one we're gonna see. So the next one is right there next door. You can see how much farther out the house comes. So the backyard's gonna be a little smaller on the next house. So this house gives you a little more of a balance of inside and outdoor living compared to the next one, but either option would work depending on what you need. All right, it's super nice back here. It's a good size. I mean, my initial thought is, wow, it's not a very big backyard, but you know, this goes to show that you can make it quaint and beautiful for entertaining. Okay, that over there is an AC unit. This is the one for the house right here. That one over there is only there because the model office is in the garage. So they're accommodating the reps out here as they should, because it does get warm out here in the summer. It can get 100 degrees out here. Wintertime, it can get into the 30s, 40s, you know, it's not crazy temps or anything like the East Coast, but something to know if you're relocating to the Valley. All right, let's have a look at, so dining, it's nice space. And then the kitchen. It's very, I mean, I don't want to use the word basic because it makes it sound like it's not nice or something. It is beautiful. It's just very simple, clean, elegant. I think those are the better words to use. This would be your pantry. There's not a walk-in pantry in this home. I mean, it's under 1,300 square feet, so it doesn't have a walk-in pantry, but you don't necessarily need it if you're not a big family living here. You don't need all that space. So, I mean, they kind of build these based around who they expect to be the buyer. And I see either a single individual buying this, maybe a young couple starting out, or an older couple or an elderly individual who wants to downsize. They've done the big 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square foot house, and you know, maybe now they want to relax and enjoy the golden years and not have all this maintenance. So moving to a master plan community like this is an excellent choice because there's Pete's Coffee. It's called Axis Eatery right across the way. We're going to talk about all that stuff here in a little bit. In between home tours today, I'm going to take a minute and show you on the map where we're at and what there is out here. So stick around for that. But that's a king-size bed. I mean, this house is a perfect floor plan. I don't always get to say that, but I really, really like this house. This would be perfect for, you know, my mom, you know, someone who it's just her, wants a space for the grandkids, my daughter who is almost 10 months, Sophie, to come and visit. She can have her playroom up in that front room or her office. My mom's office, not Sophie's office yet. All right, got our little wet room there. This is perfect, you know, great cabinet space. I like the black hardware, the black shower. It looks really good with the white. It pops with that counter. All right, so this is a really good floor plan. Okay, over here, straight ahead is the garage. And then we've got laundry right here. It's for an electric unit, electric washer and dryer. It's a perfectly laid out house though, I will say that. So I think this is an awesome house. I mean, like I said, I've already mentioned who the buyer could be for this. I mean, anybody can buy it if they want. I will say a 2-bedroom home is a little more niche than a 3-bedroom. Because if you're a family, you're probably not going to be interested in this home. I wouldn't think. Maybe it would be. But the price is awesome. We're gonna get onto the pricing here. I'm near the end of the video, so stick around. All right, got that closed. All right, in between home tours, I like to take a second just to show you where we're at today, show you the amenities of this community, and as well as amenities of the Fresno Clovis area, which is very close to where this master plan community is being built. So let me jump into that really quick and just show you where we're at in perspective to the world, as you can see on the screen. All right, so this is Earth. All right, we're starting way out in space. Let me zoom in. So obviously we're in California, which is over here on the West Coast. All right, so San Francisco and Los Angeles, you might have heard of those cities before, maybe. We are kind of right in the heart between those. So San Francisco is Northern California, NorCal. That is the Bay Area. Los Angeles, Anaheim, Long Beach, Disneyland's down in Anaheim. You've probably heard of that too. Fresno is this area right here in the center. All right, we are about 2 hours and 20 minutes from the nearest coast, which would be either Pismo Beach or Monterey Bay. Let me kind of keep going here. This red pin, I'm not sure if you can see it up here, center top. That is where we're at today, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But let me switch this over so you can kind of see a defined region of where we're at today. So this dark circular area is Fresno County. Okay, so if you are thinking about moving here and you're going to fly from out of state, you are most likely going to fly either to LAX or San Francisco, and then you're going to drive here, or you could fly directly into Fresno Yosemite International Airport. So this is a hub. We can fly from New York, directly into Fresno. There's, I don't know, it's convenient, I guess, to say the least. So that would probably be your first destination if you're traveling here, to check out the area. Once you reach out to us after seeing one of our videos, you're going to schedule your trip, come here, you're going to find a Yosemite National Airport, and then from there we'll meet up and we can go check out some stuff. That is kind of the southeast area. That is not where we're at today. Where we're at today is actually about 10 minutes north of Fresno. It's a suburb. It is a master plan community that has been here about 4 to 5 years. It's a really nice place that we're going to talk about in a moment. But before that, I just want to show you a little bit about Fresno, because even though you're moving to this community potentially, you need to know the big things that are going on here. So California State University Fresno, CSU Fresno, is a full-blown university. They have an awesome library. I actually went there myself. I studied business. So that's a really popular campus. Right next to that is Save Mart Center. They've got major artists. I mean, Elton John has performed there, Van Halen, you know, a lot of the big ones, you name it, they've probably been there. And this is kind of where the whole college culture thing comes into play, you know. Now, the homes we're showcasing in this video are kind of designed, like I said, for kind of that first-time family or somebody older who's looking to downsize from a larger home that they currently have. So, you know, I'm not sure if the college is that big of a deal to you at this point in life, but it's good information just to know where you're moving and what it's got to offer. We've got many different medical centers. We've got Clovis Community, Kaiser, and St. Agnes, all off of Herndon Avenue. So that's good. We've got a heart hospital. Fresno does have Clovis Unified Schools in certain areas. So Clovis and certain parts of Fresno are Clovis Unified Schools. It's interesting because even though we're in Fresno, some of the Clovis schools are in a Fresno zip code, and then there are parts of Clovis that are actually Fresno Unified. So you ought to reach out to us if you do have kids and you're considering making a move, because it's you don't want to just assume that because you're in Clovis, it's Clovis Unified and vice versa. So I've got a map with all the boundaries for all the campuses. So reach out to us if you need help with that, if you do have kids and you're thinking of moving here. But Clovis Unified is a very highly ranked school district. I actually went through the Clovis Unified system, I guess you could call it, and I had a great experience. I don't know, I really didn't know any different, but it seemed like a good experience. So there are several high schools, I think 5 Clovis Unified high schools. We got Clovis West, Clovis East, Clovis North, Clovis High, and Buchanan, and then I think there's a Clovis South in the works, but it's not built yet, so we're not going to talk about that. There's a couple of golf courses in North Fresno, beautiful country clubs. We've got Copper River. We've got videos on Copper River, actually, so if you want to live at a golf course, let me know. Fort Washington is another country club, very prestigious, you know, high-end kind of feel if you like golf course living. But out here to where we're at, you're going to get on Highway 41 out of Fresno off of Friant, and you're going to head northbound about 10 minutes. And you are going to get, actually, I think I'm scrolling the wrong way here. You are going to get to this community that is awesome. It's brand new. I'm not going to say brand new. It's been around for about 5 to 6 years or so. But, you know, when it first was built, there wasn't much out there. Now we've got Access Eatery, which is a really good restaurant, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They've got breakfast burritos. They've got a coffee shop in there. They're sponsored by Pete's Coffee, so they got really good coffee. It's kind of at the hub of Town Center, which is the little village right as you enter to Soro Viejo. It's really nice, and there's lots to do there. They do a farmer's market on Thursdays out there on the green from 5 to 8 p.m. every evening on Thursdays. So when the weather's nice like it is right now, this week it's been awesome in the 70s. It's a great place to go and get outside and have some fun, family fun, you know. So this is the community. You're going to come in off of Town Center. You're going to drive through the initial little area here. This is called Town Center. Let me switch this over to an actual. Okay, that looks really brown, but in my footage, it's really green and lush. There's vineyards right here. It's a really neat place. This is the green right here where they do the farmers market. And then we've got a sheriff department and fire station right here on site. All right, so it's super comforting to me, knowing that you've got first responders very close in the event of an emergency. You got Camarina Health Center. There's many different locations of Camarina around, and this one happens to be within the community. All right, and then this is where the eatery is at, Axis. It's super, super good. I don't live in this community, but my wife and I sometimes drive up here with our baby, and we'll grab lunch or something, just something different to get out of the house. So, and then the houses we're seeing today are out here in this community. There's a lot of inventory that's been built already, and there's still plenty to go, but you should reach out to us if you're interested, because we've got the relationships with the builders, and we sometimes get the inside scoop if something's falling out of escrow. You might be able to swoop up a deal if you do need something. And there's also some move-in ready inventory that we've got access to that we can share, so let us know on that. But this is the community, so we've got a really, really nice pool complex over here. There is another one going in, I think next year, but this is like a resort. I mean, it really is like a resort. There's kind of a lap pool and a beach entrance type of pool right here. It's got palm trees. I mean, it really does feel like you're not in Madera, California. It feels like you're off in, I don't know, a resort, I guess, to say the least. So that's really cool. And this is private only for residences. If you do want to take a look at this, though, I can get you in. I've got access to get us in here. We can walk around and kind of get a feel for it in person, because it's very different in person. This is a little area that you can rent right here for birthday parties. That's a big, you can't really see it here, but I'll show you right here. You can rent this out for parties, different events, and then there's many parks around the community. So it's a very family-oriented place. This is Hillside Elementary. So this is not a part of the Clovis Unified School System. This is part of Chumley, which is a school district that is north of here. Now, I've been told if you really want Clovis Unified, I've been told it's relatively easy to get an interdistrict transfer if you work in Clovis. I don't quote me on this, but this is what I've been told. So it might be easier said than done. I'm not really sure. But I do have information on the transfer if you want your kids in Clovis Unified. So reach out to me on that and I can help there. But anyways, I've talked quite a bit. You have a good feel for where we're at and what there's to offer, what's offered out here. So let me get back to the second house. You're not going to want to miss this thing. The kitchen is fantastic. Let's go. All right, we're going to head over to the next house. The next one you're gonna love. I've already mentioned the kitchen is fantastic. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1510 square foot single story. Actually, I want to show you this too. So we are, it's kind of interesting. That's not the front of the house. That is kind of the side of the house. So your garage, you pull in on the side of the house, and then the front door is right over here. These homes are some of the most affordable options available to you right now in this master plan community, and really in all of Central Valley of California. So right behind me is the front door. It's super nice. I love the glass. It's a little different. And without further ado, let's go on in. All right. So I told you that you're going to love the kitchen, and I think I'm right. Look at that kitchen right there. So typically in a home that's this size, this is 1,500 square feet, you don't get a kitchen quite as beautiful as that. But it is pretty, and let me give you a closer look. Lots of cabinet space. We still get the gas range out here. So I love the microwave. It looks nice and modern with all the touch buttons there. I love the lighting underneath the cabinets. I mean, I know you've seen this before in some of our other videos, but we are at an extraordinary low price point on these houses, and in just a few minutes we're going to go over that. So stay with us, watch till near the end when we get into the pricing, because you're not going to want to miss that. It's super affordable. I mean, I think almost anybody could afford these. That's considering buying a house. So I thought that kitchen was the wow factor in this house, considering the price point and everything else. So Let me show you, actually, let's go this way first. So it's kind of two sections to this home as well, kind of like the last one. We've got 2 bedrooms and a bath down there, as well as garage access. And then we've got our primary suite over here, which we're going to save. We're going to come back to that. While we're here, though, let me just show you the living room. So it's a good size. I mean, for this square footage, 1510, this house is, you get a nice size living room with a large sectional that will fit. Doesn't come with the sectional. I don't know if I said it wrong. Doesn't come with the sectional, but it will accommodate a large sectional. We've got a full-on dining table, so that's nice. Let's see. Backyards on these are not very big. I'm not going to tell you that you get a massive backyard, because you really don't get a massive backyard. But this is perfect if you want to come out here, drink some coffee in the morning or wine in the evening. This backyard will accommodate either or both. All right, the way they've done it though is perfect. You know, it's got a nice fence, looks really nice. They put some, I think these are pavers actually, if you can see that on the ground or not. And a strip of synthetic grass. If you've got a fur baby, I've got 2. I've got Luna and Yeti. Man, we love them, but they are a handful. 2 huskies is what I've got. I've got those at my house. We love them. They don't listen very well, but that's okay. They are our world. And I also have a daughter. Her name is Sophie, and she's almost 10 months. I could see her enjoying being out here when she's a little bit bigger, drawing with some chalk. If you've got a baby on the way, this home could work for you, because it's not that big and it's not that expensive. But it's got the 3rd bedroom. So the last house would probably work as well, but this house is better if you've got a growing family, because you get the 3rd bedroom. All right, let me head back. Actually, let's take you through the kitchen just to give you another glance at how beautiful this thing is. You got your dishwasher. Your sink is in the island. It's a stainless farmhouse sink. This is quartz, the countertop. All right, everything's on dimmers, so you can really set the mood in here. All right, and this is bedroom number 1. So standard closet. I like the recessed lighting. All right, that right there. Let me see if I can get a better. That right up there. That is pre-wired for a fan. All right. So over here you've got the switch. This right here will control the fan. It's pre-wired, so all you got to do is have an electrician come in, hook up your fan, and then you've got it wired over here. So a lot of the new fans are on remotes now, so that may not even matter, but the builder does pre-wire, so that's pretty cool. It's a nice touch. All right, right here is the laundry. All right, it looks like, yes, it's for an electric washer and dryer. So you've got your plug, not much to see here. Washer and dryer goes right there. All the new homes nowadays give you the indoor laundry. There's no more garage laundry. Here's your thermostat. I think you can hook that to Wi-Fi and run it off your phone. All right, we've got a coat closet, pretty standard size as far as the coat closet goes. All right, this room is big, all right? So for your little wanderers, all right, Wanderer 1 and 2, they can share this room. This is a good sized room though. This is a bigger room than the first bedroom. So these are full beds. There's 2 of them. Now there's no dresser in here. So I mean, while the staging looks fantastic, realistically, are you gonna live like this? Probably not. You would probably have 1 bed most likely. If you have children that need to share a room, then you should check out our next video that's coming out later in the week. We're going to be touring the next 2 homes of this builder, the 2 larger ones. So today are the 2 small ones, and then we're going to be seeing the 2 large ones here in just a couple of days. Anyways, all right, here's the secondary bath. All right, shower tub combo. It's pretty nice. That's an insert tub. We've got the toilet and the sink here. So everything you need in a bath. Okay. Through that door is the 2-car garage. Okay. It's attached, of course. So we got the 2-car garage. It's nice that it's right here. It's not that far. So if you park your car in there and you load up on groceries for the week, you come in that door. And then if you come with me this way, you've only got to bring your groceries to right here. So that's nice. You don't have to lug them all the way through a super big house. All right. So now the primary is the only thing we have not yet seen. So let's step in. Wow. I already feel like I'm in the primary. I don't know. Check it out. That's a massive fan. That's like a 72-inch fan they've got going on in here. That thing probably will blow the blanket off the bed if you wanted it to. I don't know. I had somebody tell me that one time. They got a fan that'll blow the blanket off the couch, and I thought it was kind of funny, so can't take credit for that, but let me spin this thing around. All right, so this is a good size. That appears, yeah, that's a king. That's a king bed. You've got about probably 5 feet on each side here. You got your chest of drawers there. You could put a TV the size of that mirror, which might be too big. Or maybe you want to go for it. I don't know. But this is a good size primary, though. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's all you really need. So, all right. This is cool. This is nice and open. Good cabinet space. Good counter space. I like the sinks. They look very clean. So you can get shutters, this has got shutters. It doesn't come standard with shutters, but you can add shutters. You can sort of customize these things. So when we go over pricing, we're going to be going over the base pricing here in just a little bit. That's what these homes are starting at. And then with options, prices could elevate from there, which is the case with many builders. There's a couple of them out there that are all inclusive, that everything is included, kind of an all-in-one thing, and we can talk about that if that's an easier thing for you instead of picking options. So there's a cover that's supposed to go on this, so just ignore that. But this is where your internet and all that stuff plugs in. These blue cables are for the rooms that are hardwired. So once you plug in your, for example, if you do Xfinity out here, I think it's Xfinity. Actually, you know what? Xfinity is one of the providers out here. There's, I think, 2. AT&T is not one of them, but Xfinity is one of the big ones out here, and that's part of your monthly HOA. I believe the HOA is in the low 200s right now in this community, but that includes internet, which is like 300 or 400 megabytes. If you want a gig, you can get with Xfinity and pay the difference. But actually, I want to show you this. So those blue wires that you saw, let me see if I can find... It's probably behind the bed. Yeah, it's probably behind the bed. But a lot of these new homes are hardwired from the main. So I can't see the ports with the way the staging is done. But a lot of these new homes, you can hook your iMac right into the wall via Ethernet, and it's hardwired in. So you don't have any Wi-Fi issues. Now, this home, honestly, it's not a massive house where you need to get an extender, but if you worked down there in that room and your internet's hooked over in this room, maybe you want an extender so you can stream and all that stuff. If your kid's a gamer, maybe you want to do that down there. So it's pretty cool. I did that in my house, and it's really nice. So anyways, all right, I've spoken enough. I've showed you where we're at today. The last thing to go over is the pricing. So why don't we do that right now? All right, I've got the goods right here. All right, there are several models out here. The first house we saw today, okay, it was that 2-bedroom house with the awesome floor plan, nice little backyard, that 2-bed, 2-bath. That house is 1285 square feet. It is a 2-car garage. It was the house of twos, I call it. The 2-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Of course, single story. That house starts at $386,900. Okay, so let's just call that $387,000. That is not bad at all. I think that any first-time buyer you know, a couple, they both work. I mean, this home is affordable. And there are different incentives with the builders that are typically offered. We're not going over them in the video today, but reach out to me if you want specifics, because they can vary. So, you know, sometimes the builders ask us not to mention incentives, and we're going to respect that absolutely. But we do have lots of relationships with many of the reps at the builder. So you got to reach out to us, because there's not a ton of these left. I don't believe, and we could probably get you a better deal on that, especially if there's one that's moving ready that you like. So you got to reach out to us so we can go to work for you. Let's go over the price of the second house. The second one is the 3-bed, 2-bath that we're currently standing in. It's got the awesome kitchen and the massive island. This house is 1510 square feet. It starts at $419,900, so we'll call it $420. Not a bad price. I think it's actually a pretty good price for the value that you get. This builder, McCaffrey, makes a fantastic house. Reach out to us. We've got relationships with the reps out here, and we can get you an awesome deal on the perfect house. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, thanks.